you're going to get to go first on this question, and it states, given the density and pace of development, is there room for more parks? And where would you put them to maximize benefit to the people of Morristown and not just bordering towns?
Well, we have beautiful parks that we have to take care of them. I mean, we have to invest and bring investors to help us. That way the taxes they don't go out. We have overdevelopment. In fact, we must monitor and development projects that make sense, parks that make sense. Like, for instance, we need a dog park. The majority of the residents have dogs, and they would like to see a dog park. We may have it at Leashwood Park. We can have it in Martin Luther King. We can have two of them. And we can assist the resident of Morristown to have recreation that we don't have any in the parks.
Thank you. Mr. Doherty?
Yes. Ledgerwood, Foots Pond, Clayton and Woods Park, Open Space by Grand Cafe, Pioneers Plaza, the new park at Speedwell, Bud Street Park, Burnham Park Master Plan. I can go on and on and on the investments Morristown has made in their parks. We have the most amazing parks in our town, and have the 11 acres just approved on Foots Pond for preservation. We also, if you take a look at the Early Street Garden, that was the first piece of land that I preserved, and look how much the public benefits from it. So I think we have a stellar record on parks. I mean, stellar. Thank you.
Next question, and Ms. Porras-Field, you get to go first on this question as well. It asks, what is your vision for Speedwell Avenue and the businesses there? It has been recognized as needing major upgrading and major traffic overhaul. Can this be done while maintaining the commercial and residential climate that is a part of Morristown?
Well, Speedwell Avenue is a beautiful section, but I don't understand why the town is kind of divided in two. The green and Speedwell Avenue when it comes to businesses. When in reality, they represent the business as a whole. Speedwell Avenue, we can bring programs like the CRA program, Community Investment Act. We can use the help zones for business to improve. We can use right now the Small Business Administration is giving grants to the business owners. The town should be worried about making sure that all our business people apply for those loans. So the same thing can go to not only to Speedwell Avenue, to other areas of the town. I don't hear you. We don't hear you.
I'm sorry. Okay, Mr. Doherty, now it's your turn.
I was not muted.
No, I was muted. I apologize.
Yeah. Thank you. Speedwell Avenue is an important part, just as all parts are important in Morristown. During the pandemic, we spent a lot of time going to businesses in the Speedwell Avenue district and helped many business owners apply to and get set up for the Adopt a Business program in Morristown. Some were successful, some were not, but a lot of work depended on what they did too, also to work with us. So I think there's so much opportunity on Speedwell Avenue, and I think the Morristown Partnership needs to be engaged more with the streetscape as they do in other parts of town. So working with the partnership and working with the leaders in our Latino community locally, I think Speedwell Avenue is a success, and it can only get better. Thank you.
I can review that. During this time, if you go to Speedwell Avenue, it's garbage all over the place. It's not taken care. You go to the building in the corner, 185 Speedwell Avenue. During the pandemic, people were dying there, and nobody helped them. During the pandemic, the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce feed about 2,500 families per week during 4 months. The town didn't take care of them.
Okay.
Do I get a rebuttal on that or
No,
no?
no, if you want, before you answer your next question, you're gonna be the first person to answer that question.
All right.
If you wish to say a couple of things in
Sure.
in sort of
Absolutely.
rebuttal.
Sure.
Okay, so, next question, Mr. Doherty, you're going first here, is, are you aware of any plans for Century 21? And what would you like to see for that real retail anchor space? And the rest of the block, what would be best for the town?
I'll have to spend my time on that now. I have had a meeting with the owner of Century 21 and the whole block, actually. We had a 2-hour meeting a couple of weeks ago. So it is privately owned. I do not dictate to the private entity what they want to do with their property, but I think there should be a visioning with the public and the owner and working together to come up with a vision for that whole block, not just Century 21, the whole block. Because it's one owner that owns all the stores from Century 21 all the way down to the bank. So it is about communication, about working together, and that's really what it comes down to. It is going to take a long process, but we are willing to work with this property owner and have engaged him. Like I said before, I had a 2-hour meeting with him a couple of weeks ago, and we are looking forward to working with Mr. Brown on his property. Thank you.
Thank you. And Ms. Porras Field.
Thank you. Did I hear correctly? I was in a meeting or the town council meeting, and Mr. Brown was complaining that he wasn't allowed to build, and he has many difficulties because the town gave him difficulties to do that. On North Park Plaza, every building is empty. We need the ability to make sure that these owners can work with the town and they don't have any problems. They constantly giving them problems in order for them to develop their properties. They have very poor experiences with the town.